compliment. The truth of the matter, however, was that Tom's shoes were not recently polished.
Pastor of a 7,000-plus member congregation, Pastor Tom has a unique way of attracting new followers. His church, Asbury United Methodist in Tulsa, Oklahoma, is involved in Perceptions, a tried and true Christian radio outreach tool created to help churches reach out to the unchurched through the power of broadcast media. Developed in 1972 by Durham Incorporated, churches in more than 30 markets across the United States are benefiting from this dynamic program. Jeff Durham is the Director of Sales for Durham Incorporated.
Perceptions works using radio. Radio offers a benefit that no other medium can, that's portability. We reach listeners using our library of proven 60-second perception scripts which took hundreds of hours and many years to write. They're written for radio as well as being tailored to reach the unchurched listener.
For Pastor Tom, he found out about Perceptions in a most unlikely place.
I was on an airplane flying back to Tulsa, and I was seated next to another pastor, and he told me again and again during the trip how wonderful this ministry called Perceptions was. I'd never heard of it before, and he convinced me. I got off the plane and very quickly called Durham, and Durrell was the one that helped us link and brought this ministry to our church in Tulsa.
In order to protect those using the program and ensure a more successful strategy, Perceptions is only employed to work with one church per market, usually within a 60-mile radius of each other. Anyone who is forward-thinking and has a strong desire to reach new followers, the unchurched, and are looking for new and more effective ways to boost the presence of their church within the community are welcome to Perceptions. Churches in large metro areas as well as non-metro areas and smaller towns are utilizing the program today. Perceptions was first used by Dr. Maxie Dunham, recognized throughout Methodism for his commitment to evangelism and church renewal. Dr. Dunham knew the best way to draw people to the church was by grabbing their attention.
I became involved with Perceptions through Durham, who was the chair of our communications committee at Christ United Methodist Church when I came to be the senior minister. We had a TV program on Sunday morning presenting our Sunday morning worship service to the public. I never was excited about that. I didn't think it was effective. So Durrell and I began to talk about how we could best reach people, and we came up with the idea of a 60-second radio program, and we called it Perceptions.
The former senior minister at the 6,000-member Christ United Methodist Church in Memphis, Tennessee, Dr. Dunham wrote all the Perceptions until he left Christ Church.
I believe our most effective way of reaching people at Christ United Methodist Church was through radio and Perceptions. When I surveyed our congregation as a result of the use of Perception, we discovered that over a period of 6 or 7 years, about between 60 to 70% of the people who joined our church came to the church for the first time because they'd heard Perceptions.
To Dr. Dunham, the success of Perceptions came as no surprise.
Well, first of all, I think that Perceptions was effective because it addressed issues that people were thinking about. It wasn't pushy. It was a very soft presentation of a message that really addressed the needs of people. And it didn't use God language. It was very generic in terms of language. And people knew that the church was not deliberately seeking them to come to church. The church was deliberately seeking to meet their needs. And as a result of the church seeking to meet their needs, of course, they responded to the church.
Durham Incorporated has served over 50 churches since its inception, and its longest-running market has benefited by this revolutionary program for more than 2 decades. What started out as an outreach on 2 radio stations has become a very large ministry, reaching thousands of listeners per week on 6 stations here in Tulsa. As a result, Asbury United Methodist has seen a large influx of new members.
Our church has grown, and I think it's grown in large part because of this radio ministry. We don't see it as being about us, but that this is a message for our community. And we just want to say a good word to people about faith and life and various things. And so it's been a good thing. We see our Perceptions ministry as being part of our service to our community.
The increase in members to Asbury United Methodist has even helped the church in other ways.
We have doubled the size of our facility here, and I tell people all the time, were it not for Perceptions, we would never ever have relocated. And it's been an extraordinarily important part of our growth here as a congregation.
Our life before Perceptions was totally different than what it is now. We were good people. We tried to live a good life, but there was always something missing from that. Since Perceptions and coming to the church, it's just much easier, and I'm not near as angry or as scared as I was before coming to church and before Perceptions.
Once a month, Pastor Tom takes a trip to KWEN-FM where he records his Perceptions messages. Durham Incorporated provides the copyrighted scripts, which are written especially for local radio.
A person who's nice to you but rude to a waiter is not a nice person.
Along with the script, Durham Incorporated takes care of all scheduling, including free production time at the station. They negotiate annual rates with selected local radio stations and place church media buys using their unique formula to ensure cost effectiveness.
The radio cost varies depending on each city. We use our 40-plus years of nationwide media buying expertise along with our proven media formula to reach the right audience on the right stations at the right times and to ensure that the church is making the most efficient use of its dollars. The program usually begins paying for itself by the end of the third year.
After the first year of utilizing Perceptions, Durham Incorporated offers gift edition books published biannually. Included in the books is a collection of